Welcome to this week's edition of Red Devil Roundup, where we're previewing the boys soccer team here at Owensboro High School. I'll go ahead and let my next player introduce himself.
I'm Andrew Doobie. I'm a senior and I play goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, obviously, it's kind of a different position out there. Kind of talk a little bit about what goes into it.
It takes a lot of hard work. I mean, most people think of the goalkeeper as the lazy person who's always in the back, but it's definitely a lot of hard work. And a quote by Tim Howard: 10 players on the field can make one mistake and nobody will notice. A goalkeeper makes one mistake and everybody will notice it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're the only guy back there. You're obviously the last level of defense. How do you stay focused in a game? Sometimes you might not get a lot of action, especially if your guys on offense are really pushing the ball upfield. How do you stay motivated back there?
You just gotta, my job is not only to keep the ball out of the net, but I have to command my defense. I have to be loud. I have to always be talking, letting my defense know where players are, and just making sure that nobody can get through.
The Red Devil soccer team, obviously it's a tradition of excellence here at Owensboro. Talk a little bit about, the upcoming expectations for this season.
Well, I think everybody expects us to repeat in the district and the region, and I think that is very likely that we will.
What is it gonna take, rather, to accomplish that goal, to be the city champs, the district champs again here in Owensboro?
First of all, we have to take it one game at a time in the district, get our #1 seed like we have, and just stay focused on what our goal is and not try to stray away from that.
Anything else you'd want to add or tell people at home about this upcoming season?
I know it's mine and Hayden's senior season, and we worked hard for 4 years to get to this point, and I think everybody should come out and support us.
Well, there you have it. Coming up right after the break, we'll hear from another Red Devil soccer player. And we're back here on Red Devil Roundup looking at the boys soccer team. I'll go ahead and let my next guest introduce himself.
Hayden Sovar, I'm a senior. I play center midfield.
Hayden, talk a little bit about what your position is all about here for the Red Devils.
Center midfield, we kind of just direct all the play all the way around the field. We pass from one side of the field to the next and just kind of get everything going, make things happen.
It's your senior season. What kind of legacy do you want to leave here at Owensboro High School?
I would like everybody to remember my name, and if I could, I would like to score as many goals as I can and hopefully get that #1 leading scorer in OHS history if I could.
Do you know who that is right now?
Scott Polium.
Scott Polium. I believe he is the women's soccer coach here at Owensboro. Coach Poole, one thing I know with you guys, he wants you to win on the field, but he also kind of wants you to win in life. Why do you think that's important?
Well, he wants to succeed, not only on the soccer field, but in our life, and he's been a big impact on my life and what I do outside of soccer.
What's your favorite part about soccer?
Just the game. It's fun. I like to have fun with it.
What makes a average soccer player from a really good soccer player?
A lot of practice. You got to work hard, put in the work.
When you say put in the work, is it just running more? Is it kicking more? What is it? Is it a combination? What is it?
It's definitely a combination of both. You got to work at all aspects of the game to improve altogether.
Sure. Well, coming up right after the break, we'll hear from head soccer coach Dale Poole. And we're back here on Red Devil Roundup featuring the boys soccer team. I'll go ahead and let my next guest introduce himself.
Hey, David. My name's Dale Poole, boys soccer coach at Owensboro High School.
Coach Poole, you've been at this for quite a while. Kind of talk about where this started.
Well, in the spring of 1983, HSAA decided to make it a sanctioned sport statewide. And we had a pretty good-sized group of boys at Owensboro High School that were playing a brand-new sport in town called club soccer. And David Vaughn, the coach at Kentucky Wesleyan, was coaching that group. And most of them were juniors, a few sophomores, a few freshmen, and they put out a petition to find out who would coach this thing, and I was the only one in the school district that knew anything about soccer.
So obviously, Owensboro soccer, it's been around for a while, and as well, you've been around for a while. Just kind of talk about some of the different things you've seen over the years being the boys soccer coach here at Owensboro High School.
Well, the game has definitely become more technical, more tactical. Technical in the absolute skill level of a player, tactical in the approach a whole team plays when they have possession or they don't have possession of the ball. One thing that hasn't changed is the desire for Owensboro High School athletes to compete. That first group in 1983 were a supreme group of competitors. This year, 2013, 31 years later, 31 seasons later, we've still got boys that really want to compete, and they're having fun.
Sure. Coach, soccer here in Owensboro, it's always very competitive between the schools, I know, especially between you guys and Davis County. Kind of talk about, how you prepare your guys for a season. You haven't got into gameplay yet, obviously. What are you telling these guys, to get, ready for, the first game of the season?
Well, twofold, mental and physical. Physical, obviously, we've got to be fit. Technical, they've got to be comfortable with the ball. They've got to be comfortable with passing the ball. They've got to play with their heads up so they can view the field and know their best options. Soccer is really a free kind of flowing game, as opposed to maybe a more structured play-by-play game like football. Soccer is just a little bit more free-flowing, and you kind of make it up as you go along as to what your best options are. So in the beginning of the season, we try to train our players to identify those best options, the best pass, the best where to run when they don't have the ball. If we don't have the ball, how do we defend effectively as an individual and as a team to get the ball back and then be able to attack? So those are some fundamentals that we work on in the preseason. The mental condition of a player is almost as maybe more important than the physical condition of the player. And we really teach here a positive mental aspect, that failure, making a mistake is okay because we learn from it. And because we make a mistake doesn't mean that we're a failure. If you look at baseball, to hit one hit out of 5, you stay in the major leagues. Sure. One good hit out of 5 and you stay in. So, we teach here that we stay positive, that we use positive self-talk. We tell ourselves in our head that we can do it as opposed to we can't do this. So that is our mental motivation here, is to be very, very positive, to dream big and imagine ourselves doing really big things.
Talk a little bit about this team this year. You've had a lot of teams here at Owensboro. What's this team going to be like, do you think?
Well, I've been very impressed in the first 4 weeks of our preseason. They're hardworking. There's not a whole lot of goofing around about them. They work hard, and they're very coachable. I've been very pleased. Last night in our training session, we finished with a 30-minute scrimmage. I could tell the boys were ready to play.
Speaking of ready to play, when do you guys kick off the season this year?
Well, we opened Tuesday, August 20 at Henderson. Last year they finished one of the top 4 teams in the state. And then we travel the following Saturday to Bowling Green, which was ranked number 3 in Kentucky at the end of the season last year. And then we come back here that same night and play Louisville Male. So our first week is a pretty tough plate to swallow. But I plan on playing a lot of players that first week and letting our kids compete, having some fun.
Sure. Speaking of having fun, with you, obviously, it is a lot about soccer, but it's also a lot about just how you carry yourself. Kind of talk a little bit about why you think that's important.
Well, soccer, as well as any sport we have at Owensboro High School, it so much mirrors life. It's full of conflict. It's full of motivation. It's full of victory. It's full of defeat. It's full of so many things that these guys are going to face in life when they're employed someday, when they get married someday, when they have kids someday, when they're training for a vocation. And how effectively I do as a coach here with these guys will help them prepare for the bigger things in life when they're out on their own, when they're adults, and when they're training to be in their vocation.
Sure. Well, Coach, is there anything else you want to let people know at home? Obviously, you all want people to come out and support you guys. A good fan section is always good for soccer.
Absolutely. We would really encourage our fans to come out and watch us play. It's going to be good soccer. We've got great players this year that really love to play. And win or lose, we're going to play hard from the beginning, from kickoff to the end whistle, and have some fun doing it. And we hope our fans come out and enjoy watching us play.
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Red Devil Roundup. For the Owensboro Public School System, I'm Dave Kirk. Thanks for watching.